81. Thursday, times of clouds and sun with a chance of an afternoon thunderstorm, high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 4 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Tuesday morning. I hope you're doing well. Robin, I want to introduce our next guest by recalling for you a time when I was in a parking lot outside of a youth center when I was a youth myself. And, back in those days before I owned a car, before I drove a car, me and all the other guys, and I'm guessing you girls too, couldn't wait to that day when we had a car. Couldn't wait. And the older kids who had cars were always impressive to us. You would watch them drive through the parking lot, and sometimes they'd step on that gas and just burn rubber and just kick up smoke and dust everywhere, and just show off the power of the engine under the hood of this car that they're driving, right? Well, one day I remember there was a guy who came into the parking lot, and forgive me because I don't know cars that well. I think it was a Mustang, but it just looked like a powerful car. It looked like a powerful car, and this guy was a cool guy. He didn't spin his wheels. He just drove it. I watched those hubcaps turning slowly, and I thought, isn't it cool? That's cooler than spinning out, because he's got all that power, and he's got more power than the other guy in the Datsun that just peeled out of here.
Yeah.
He's got more power, but he's not flaunting it. He's just there. He's got the power. Well, that's sort of like what martial arts guys have, right? They've got the ability, but martial arts, and I'm not trained in martial arts in any way, but those people who I've spoken to, we've had some young people in here and some older people in here who've been martial arts people, and the one thing that seems to be a package deal when you learn martial arts is not only how to do the moves and how to defend yourself, but something higher than that, something more profound, something more philosophical than that. And maybe that's why our next guest has these two things coming together in this wonderful book, which is called You Have Infinite Power. Now, if I just told you the name, You Have Infinite Power, you would think, okay, it's another Tony Robbins type book, which it's not so far. Tony Robbins, I believe, studies martial arts, I believe.
Yeah.
And so does our guest, Chris Berlow. He is a 6th degree black belt in Taekwondo. He's a former national level competitor. He coaches individuals to live with passion and purpose. He's the founder of and teacher at the United Martial Arts Centers in Briarcliff Manor, New York. That's a pretty name. Wonder what it looks like. The book is called You Have Infinite Power, just to reiterate. Ultimate Success Through Energy, Passion, Purpose, and the Principles of Taekwondo. This is awesome. Very inspiring. It's like having the Mustang with the cool engine and knowing when and when not to use it. Chris Berlow. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, and thanks for the wonderful introduction. That was like the best ever.
Oh, good. Where are you? Where are you right now? Are you in that beautiful named town, Briarcliff Manor?
I'm a little bit north of it. I'm at my home office, and it's Mohegan Lake, New York, so it's a beautiful day today, so we're very grateful.
Oh, nice. Where is that exactly? I'm from Long Island. You're upstate somewhere, right?
Yes, I would say go up right from New York City and go up about 40 minutes. So pretty much the suburbs. A lot of people in my community work in the city.
Pretty area.
A beautiful area.
Pretty
Very
area.
Grateful.
All right. Well, thank you for being on the air with us. Were you studying martial arts or Taekwondo maybe specifically all your life?
I'd like to say all my life, because then I wouldn't be as old as I am. But, but no, I started my training at the age of 13 years old. And I was very grateful and found my passion at a very young age. And so I'm well over 30 years of training now.
Wow. Now, not to bring something terribly horrible into this story, but did you see the video of the young man who was blaming everybody but himself for the killing spree he went on?
I honestly did not.
No, okay. Well, I just watched him, and I thought, boy, this guy needed some training. He either needed to enter the military or needed what the principles of the martial arts typically teach. I don't know. I just thought that this guy, what a mess. What a sad story. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. When there's tragedies like this and there's situations like that, basically what it comes down to is that the child or whoever just feel like they didn't belong. they didn't have a greater calling other than themselves, and they were lonely, and that probably triggered something. But when the children do train in martial arts, it gives them an identity, it gives them a mindset, and gives them that discipline and focus, and also a sense of belonging of something bigger than them. So, if more children did Taekwondo, our society would have less incidents like this.
I think that's what I was wanting to hear from you, because I think that too. Yeah. And it's good. It's good to hear it from you. Did it do anything for you? 13. That's a pretty good age to start this, though. I think. I mean, did it change you in any way?
Dramatically. I had an extremely challenging upbringing as a young child. Divorce. I had my parents lost my brother, to an unfortunate accident. Alcoholism. The whole, it was an array of things. So I did not have a Cinderella story upbringing. I had all the temptations of going down the wrong path, but it was through my Taekwondo training that kept me straight, kept me focused, and gave me purpose. So I'm extremely, extremely grateful. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about it.
People... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it's good for you is all I was going to say.
People go through life and they seem to have a focus on one thing, and then they want to change to do something else, but that change is hard. You so eloquently put into words in your book how a person can change and give them the courage to change, because that is truly, truly very difficult for some.
Absolutely. Well, what we like to say is we don't, people fear change. There's no question. Change is something that is a big concern for many. What we like to say is we help the clients improve, and we want the readers to improve. So if we say change, they may have a negative connotation to it, but if we say improve, they're usually a little more inspired to take action. So that's kind of one of, words are extremely powerful, right? So what we do is we help our clients choose the words, or the readers choose the words wisely, so then that will ultimately determine how they feel about what they're doing.
Yeah. Did you ever see that video where it shows a blind guy begging for a handout for change? Have you ever seen this one?
Yes.
He's got a sign next to him for those who haven't seen it, and the sign says, "I'm blind, could you help?" or something like that. And he's getting a few donations here and there. And a woman walks past, and she changes his sign. And now he's getting lots and lots of more people giving money. And then the whole point is that words make a difference. And what she wrote, instead of "blind, I need help," was "it's a beautiful day and I can't see it."
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's all a matter of your own individual perception. So very, very powerful.
Yeah, and I guess that's the same power of the what I get from Taekwondo and from martial arts in general is that a small move that is targeted, that is specific, that knows exactly where to go, very calculated, maybe that's the way to say it, can do a lot more than swinging a big sledgehammer. And it's the same thing with a succinct word or a succinct phrase.
Yes. You're exactly right. The amount of power that an individual could generate, and what happens is it's almost you're hyper focused, and all the cells in your body, all the parts are working synergistically, where mind, body, spirit work as one, and then you make impact on whatever you're doing. Hopefully, it's a board or a brick or not a person, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. But then the same thing, if you put, your mind is so unbelievably powerful. The first chapter in our book is based on thought. And what we do is we explain to our readers and our clients that, your mind has two parts. You have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. And at the conscious mind, we have the ability to choose the thoughts. Subconscious mind, we can only accept those thoughts, and it ends up becoming where our emotions lie. So what we teach our clients is, if you think positively, you'll start to feel positively. Then you'll have positive actions, and ultimately you'll have positive results. So if you want to change any results, you start by changing your thoughts. So if your thoughts are more focused, then you are going to have more focused results.
Yeah, I like that. Let's make sure that we mention that you are one of 4 authors in this book. Chris Berlow is who we're speaking to. Paul Malella Jr., Nick Palumbo, and Rick Wallman, the three gentlemen, wrote this book, You Have Infinite Power, Ultimate Success Through Energy, Passion, Purpose, and the Principles of Taekwondo. What you just said about having that positive attitude and having a place to start and making it positive. There was a speech given at a graduation ceremony by one of the Navy SEALs, and it was in the news the other day. And one of the things he said was about making your bed in the morning. And as un-Navy SEAL-like as that seems, he attributes that to actually kicking off every single day on the right step. Because once he makes his bed perfectly, and I got to listen to this because I never make my bed.
Yeah.
But he makes his bed perfectly. And so it's an easy thing to accomplish, but he's already accomplished one thing perfectly, and now he's on a track to do that all day long. That's how
It's funny you should say that. I saw a student. We had a race in the community. I ran with one of my students, and the father came up to me and said exactly that. He said, "Did you hear about this interview?" And he's actually making me a copy. Apparently, it was in the Wall Street Journal or something. So I was fascinated by it. So it's funny that you say that. And and he's exactly right. What does the Navy say? They give discipline. They teach you discipline, and it's those small little steps of success that will help you achieve greater successes, and it puts you on the right path for the rest of the day. So anybody in the military I have so much respect for.
So tell me about the young people you've worked with, and maybe you can have a success story you can share with us about somebody whose life has changed, not just in their ability to execute the moves of Taekwondo, but the principles and how it's changed his or her life.
Well, I mean, I have so many stories. I mean, I've had children who just had, oh my goodness, just a rotten luck, rotten experiences, and then gave them the mindset, and just like my story more or less, and gave them something to really work towards. But I had a client recently, and this is, I work with a lot of clients, and one of them is my favorite. Not favorites, but I really enjoyed working with this woman.
Right.
She was her self-esteem was really, really low. And the reason why it was so low is because she had lost her husband about 7 years earlier. She raised 4 children by herself, and everybody was extremely, extremely critical about her. Everything she would do, she would get criticized, felt like she could do nothing right. So she went through this program, and I remember my first conversation with her, and I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this, right? But, fast forward, she went through the concepts of the book, because that's our coaching program. We take them through the 14 steps, went through the concepts of the book, and by the end of the program, she made a decision to go back to school, get a degree in social work, so she could share her story and help inspire other women in her similar situation. And just May 11th this year, she graduated.
Oh,
and
wow.
now she's looking for a career. So it's really taking the clients or students, and it's all the same. It's all the same. Taking those martial arts values, applying them to your everyday life in the training room or outside, and then the results are astounding. So there's many, many stories.
So I want to know something. When you are a young man and you're learning Taekwondo, obviously you're focusing more on learning Taekwondo. And the deeper, the more important lessons probably, well, they're being planted, but you probably don't recognize them right away. Here's a question I have. Did you recognize it for the first time, maybe, when you were with somebody else who hadn't taken that path, and you said, that could have been me? What's that statement they always say, there, but by the grace of God go I?
Yeah.
Did you have one of those moments where, oh my God, that could have been me?
I would like to say yes. but honestly, at that time, I was so focused. I found my calling, and, I didn't look sideways. I just looked forward. I didn't look back. I looked forward. And I could imagine that if I did not go through the training that I did not develop the mindset and the identity that I didn't apply these values, I would have definitely, where I am today would have been a totally different place than where I would have been.
And that's one of the key points, other key points that you bring out in your book, the difference between making a living and making a life.
Yes, I feel bad for some people, because if they wake up every morning dreading for what the day is going to bring, I believe they're not living. I believe they're just going day to day. And unfortunately, I think there's more people out there that we'd care to admit. But when you have something that's a greater purpose, or something that's so important to you and you're truly passionate about, and it's got to be beyond money. Money we work for satisfaction, for fulfillment. We don't work for money. And when somebody has to work for money, there's really no meaning. But when somebody works for a purpose, they know they're giving a great contribution to society. Then they're really, living the life that the most successful people will live, because they're passionate. It's just so awesome.
In the Bible, and I'm not a Bible scholar, and I have a hard time quoting the Bible, but I know there's a part in there that says that I guess it's in the Ten Commandments, right? That we shall not covet our neighbor's stuff, right? I can't remember. I think it lists everything, including asses, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm just a kid at heart. But anyway, you have a part in the book where you're talking about the whole issue of keeping up with the Joneses, trying not to do that. It's a wonderful message that you really deliver throughout the whole book. There's just nuggets after nuggets in this book.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's what we call the creative plane and the competitive plane. And the competitive plane is keeping up with the Joneses, one step above, doing this only because they're doing it. But the creative plane is where, again, you are focused on your own creativity, on your own individual as a self. When it comes to martial arts, my martial arts school, and Paul also owns a martial arts school, the same organization as well. We feel we don't have competition. Because we set ourselves aside so much, we focus on, like I said, moving forward, on creating, on the creative plane, where we're just making our own program, our own techniques better, and not really looking side to side about the other people.
You stress how important it is to appreciate other people also by recognizing what they're doing, and also by being polite, and in appreciating them, you say thank you and offer other words of positiveness.
We have to. The 5 tenets of Taekwondo are perseverance, integrity, self-control, respect, and indomitable spirit. And it's my worthy ideal, which is a concept we elaborate in our book, to inspire and impact masses of people to take those martial arts values and bring them to as many people as possible. The way we do that is to help our clients and students integrate those values into everything they do. And, it works tremendously well.
Here's a powerful statement that Chris wrote in the book. The book, again, is called You Have Infinite Power, and I'm reading a quote from Chris in the book. He writes, "Remember, every 7 years you get a whole new body. Why not make the next one your best one?"
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've lived with this. How many 7 years? How many new bodies have I had? How many times? I must be up to 8 by now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That was actually my grandmaster, Byung-Nin Kim, has shared that with myself and Paul Malala. And we take it to heart. I see him every week, and we're so grateful for his teaching. But what the idea here is that every 7 years we get a whole new body, because the cells regenerate themselves. So if you're not happy with the body of today, change your actions now, right? First by changing your thoughts, change how you feel, change your actions, and the next 7 years your body could be much better than it is now. And it works. I just had a client. In fact, Paul and I each have a client that we're working with. My client lost 48 pounds. His client lost 50 pounds in the last 6 months. And we're having a competition to see which client could lose more weight. So they're on the fast track with those 7 years.
Oh, wow. And are they gaining agility? Are they gaining confidence? Or are they gaining things while they're losing the weight?
The only frustration they have is that they have to go shopping. So
what?
They are totally different people. It's when you have that sense of accomplishment. I like to say to clients and students that if you have the ability to control your eating habits, you can control every other area of your life.
How does religion play a role in what you teach?
That's a great question. There are 2 things that I will not talk about with clients, and that is religion and politics. And the reason is, I do talk about spirituality, though. Oh. And the reason why I talk about spirituality is because I think everybody would agree that we believe in a higher power. However, there are so many different beliefs, and we don't want to offend anybody, and we don't want to encourage saying one is better than the other, because they all have their personal beliefs. And the unfortunate truth is that there have been wars, and many people have died because of their beliefs. So what we want to do is help strengthen their spirituality, and we do that by meditation, by teaching them about a higher level of awareness. And then in turn, if they want to apply that to their own spiritual beliefs, they have the freedom to do so.
So what works well for one doesn't work well for the other. They have to find their own
Absolutely.
acceptance into the universe.
Absolutely. But I do teach our clients a lot about meditation and spiritual practice so they can develop inner calmness. Because the more calm you are, the more at peace you are, then the more likely you'll have a stronger connection to that universal energy or higher power, or however you would like to look at it.
The book, again, is called You Have Infinite Power. Our guest is Chris Berlow. He is one of 4 authors. The subtitle is Ultimate Success Through Energy, Passion, Purpose, and the Principles of Taekwondo, a very motivational book with some it's not just ethereal. There are some real down-to-earth suggestions, like drink more water, like add lemon to your water, like set your goal, things like that. And I wanted to talk about the water just for a second, and just to give you a laugh, actually, Chris. I want to make you chuckle. In this morning's news, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
There was a study that was reported on that was, now here are the key words, a study paid for by the American Beverage Association. Are you ready? Now that you need to hear those words, paid for. The study says dieters who drink diet soda lose more weight than those who only drink water.
Oh, my goodness.
Now remember, paid for.
Yeah.
By the American Beverage Association.
Yeah.
How crazy is that when we have that kind of stuff in front of us? And I'm so glad that the reporter decided to put paid for by in that story.
Yeah, I'm actually grateful for that too. I mean, that's really funny. That's unfortunately an epidemic that we have a big challenge ahead of us to help our clients, or your listeners, our readers, to live those healthy lifestyles, because we are inundated with those kind of things. It's unfortunate, but if we together have the ability to inspire and empower individuals to look past that, they'll do what they know is the right thing to do.
When a child is in elementary age, should he or she express an interest that he wants to learn how to do this, or should the parents just take it upon themselves to put him in a class?
Okay. The parents should definitely take it upon themselves to put them in the class. If they want their child to have more respect, I think we could stop there, right? More respect at home, more discipline, improve their grades, improve their confidence to be really great contributors to our society, then every child in every school and should be involved in the martial arts.
Yeah, it does look that way. It kind of seems to have the same effect as boot camp and the military. When I was a kid, I wasn't in any fights that I can think of, maybe one. But I would always think, if I'm in a fight, I want somebody to put on some really strong music, because then I'll be like, what do you call it? Like Popeye.
Yeah.
That's my spinach. The powerful music is my spinach. You actually have a paragraph or so in the book. I can't find it right away, but that's what you talk about. You talk about put on Rocky, or put on, I don't know, whatever music gets you going. I love that.
Yeah, but when we work with our clients, we work with a lot of clients in the financial services industry, and they have these client meetings, and sometimes they're a little bit intimidated by who they're going to meet up. We say, okay, throw on yourself a power song. Get a power song. Put on Rocky. Put on something that's going to inspire you. Go in there, and you'll be like fired up. Your energy will overpower any doubt that they may have.
Yeah, Rocky always does it for me too.
Yeah.
Oh, how can it not, right?
And to write a book yourself, sir, with the contribution of 3 other authors, you all have to have huge respect for one another, that you'll all have an equal share and be able to put out the best thing that could be.
Yeah, one of the things about the other 3 authors and myself, we've been in this company, we formed this company about 8 years ago to take our message and bring it out to masses of people. And that's why we're so, grateful for the opportunity to talk today and have this book out. But one of the great things is we all 4 of us, have experienced success, and we all have experienced failures. And what makes us unique is that we're not ashamed of our failures. We're willing to share them and explain them and show everybody how we overcame them. So this way, in the hope that it will help inspire our readers, our listeners, our clients to overcome any challenge or obstacle that they may have. And the beauty is that we're best friends. You know, we have a partnership over 7 years, and we play more than we work.
And what an inspiring conversation. I looked at the clock and we're up against it, so I need to wrap up the interview. I have a copy of the book. It's called You Have Infinite Power. Let me give it away. If you want the copy I have, call me at 622-9622. I'll give it to you. The rest of us have to go buy it. Let's start with websites. Chris, do you guys have a website?
We do. www.empoweredmastery.com. We have links to the Barnes & Noble site and the Amazon site, whatever your preference is. It's available at barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, and really wherever books are sold. And I truly hope some of our listeners, your listeners, take action. And I'm very, very grateful for the interview today.
Well, thank you. And let me give away the book real quickly. Good morning. You've got the book. Who's this?
Hi, this is Marty.
Marty, do you know where we are?
Yes, I do.
Marty, it'll be waiting for you right here at the Paddock Mall, okay?
Oh, I would be delighted to have it. What a wonderful show today. Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. And we're going to end with the Rocky theme. Thank you so much, Chris Berlow. That was wonderful. Great interview.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Reports of dozens of rebels killed as a struggle for a key part of eastern Ukraine rages on.
Ukrainian troops and pro-Russian rebels continue gun battles as Ukraine launched airstrikes and a paratrooper assault at Donetsk's International Airport for the second day in a row. A spokesman for Ukraine's anti-terrorist operation says rebels are no longer inside the airport terminal.
Fox Radio's Jessica Gall.